Alright guys, it's time to look at Skale or SKL on the channel for the first time since July the 15th. That's actually this candle right here, guys, where it was trying to push through 2.4 cents. It eventually did that today, and we're sitting at 3.1 cents, and we are breaking into a range that we really haven't been in since March. Now, the last time we were here was the 3rd of March, really early March, so that is crazy, guys. Now, it still hasn't held even the daily candle over this point. And again, these green lines are my weekly support and resistances, so keep that in mind. So the longer the time frame the candle, though, above these lines, the better. Now, Skale is up about more than 50% today. I actually looked at their Twitter, didn't really see anything in particular that would, show me that this is why it's pumping. Now, taking a look at the volume profile, it's really hard to put the whole trading life of Skale here, but we do have the point of control above us, and that sits about a full penny above us, unfortunately, and we need to really get above about 7 cents. That's this whole little candle right here, and if we can really get above about, let's say, 12 cents, guys, the volume really drastically goes down. Basically step by step here, and yeah, the majority of this trading is under 12 cents. Jumping over to the Bollinger Bands, guys, you can see on a monthly time frame it did get a pinch back in December of 23, guys, but basically it has maintained its width since that time. Really, it's actually a little bit widened, but since March of 24, nothing has really happened, so it's not pinching, at least on a monthly time frame. Now, weekly time frame, let's take a look at this. It does look like it has come in, and it did pinch in beginning of August. So yeah, that may be the start of this rise here. You can see it did kind of pinch back here too in November of 24, and that resulted in a little bit of a run up as well. And yeah, if we go back to November of 23, you can see it pinched here. But yeah, what it looks like is it did get a little bit of a pinch last week here. Looking at the RSI and stochastic here, we do have an oversold stochastic here. The RSI looks just to be really flat for a long time. It is slightly pointed up now, though, so that's a good sign, I would say. Monthly looks okay. Now, weekly, the blue line has just crossed this red line back to the upside. It's not overbought yet. It's very close, though. The RSI is pointed pretty heavily up, too, so that's good. Now, the daily time frame is overbought, unfortunately, but of course it can still run up a little bit more, and the RSI though is overbought, so not a good signal, at least on the daily. 4-hour time frame, yeah, it's actually, the blue line looks like it's about to start crossing this red line and head down. RSI is pretty high, probably about to turn down too. The 1-hour time frame again is overbought on both, so not good there. And the 15-minute coming down, and looks like it just might want to start curving back to the upside. We'll see. It's a pretty short time frame though. And yeah, right here the RSI, it's just slightly under being overbought. So it's kind of, riding the line, and maybe it just ticked up to the overbought actually. Anyways, on the shorter term time frames, in my opinion, doesn't look good, but in the longer term, of course, it looks very good. So let's put this on a 4-hour time frame at least. And yeah, I mean, this has just been surging for the last like 5 4-hour candles. This one is about to close in about 42 minutes, guys. So I just don't see it surging over this, 3.4 cents really. Unless Ethereum just continues surging, it probably needs to take a little bit of a rest. One more indicator to consider, guys, is the MACD. This shows momentum. Now, we do have a darker green candle here that has formed on the monthly time frame, and yeah, it's never seen a red period. That is interesting. Now, the weekly, we do have some dark green candles here. The momentum is again to the upside. The blue line is pointed pretty heavily to the upside. And if we look at the daily, yeah, it actually has 4 green candles here, and this one is much larger than the last few that have printed. And if we go back in history, it's almost, yeah, it really hasn't seen bigger since back in January of 25. So I don't know, maybe it's about to see something more like this. Just have to wait and see. But momentum is really to the upside. It's pointed pretty heavily to the upside. So again, longer term time frames, which is what we're more concerned with on this channel, is pointed to the upside. Now jumping over to the tokenomics of Skale, guys, it's the number 354 coin. I can't remember what it was last time we looked at it, but I think it was much higher. Now it's 57% up today. And really, let's see, it doesn't say anything here about any news. So normally if there's news, CoinGecko will actually say something here, but it doesn't. Now, you can see my holdings here, guys. And yeah, I don't have a very big bag of it, but I actually have picked up some recently. I would say, I think in the last month, I picked up a little bit. So I think even my wife, I think I picked up some for her as well. Now, max supply is 7 billion, which isn't that bad, guys. And circulating is most of this. So again, that's good to see. Now, all-time high was $1.22. That was about 4 years ago. I remember this. It was a new coin then, guys. Now, it's sitting 97% down still. So is it going to make $1.22? You know, actually, with 5 billion circulating, it could be theoretically possible. That isn't that many coins. But I just, you know, sitting 97, 98% down, I don't think it's going to happen. I would be happy if this would get to about 50 or 60 cents though. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, you can claim some bonuses on my favorite crypto exchanges below. I have partnerships with 10 exchanges, guys. And if you want to sign up to Mudix, you can have a free 7-day trial here, and you can follow me on X here. Now, jumping over to Bitcoin, guys, you can see it has retested these supports here on the daily time frame, plus the top of this flag, basically, that we were in for some time before it broke down. And that's a good sign, guys. We're sitting at 120,600, and all-time high is up here at 123. So let's see if that's the next mark that we need to head towards, and we need to break that. So if we go to the CME futures, please remember there's an $850 gap here. It doesn't have to get filled now, but eventually it probably will get filled. So let's see when that happens. It may happen in the bear market, but it is a danger that it could go down and fill this gap before going back up. Jumping over to Ethereum, guys, you can see it's broken this zone basically where Ethereum has failed about 5 out of 6 times. Now, we are getting into territory that we haven't really seen. Of course, we do have a few wicks here. And, you know, we are at a point, we are breaking above the Fibonacci at the moment. This is the weekly time frame that we're looking at. So it's almost at $4,700. If we seal a weekly candle above this Fibonacci, that would be the highest weekly candle we have ever sealed. Looking at the total market cap, guys, you can see we're pretty much at new highs here. And we still haven't hit the target of that flag that we have broken out of. Technically below, but that sits at about 4.33 trillion. We're sitting at 4.05 here. We're not far under it. I do think we'll hit it here, you know, pretty soon. The total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, sitting at 1.65. We have broken this resistance at 1.62 now. The next resistance on a monthly time frame is 1.71 trillion. Now, looking at the quarterly returns for Bitcoin and Ethereum side by side, you know, Bitcoin is not doing bad, guys. It's up over 40% here, but Ethereum is like 120, 130% up in the last 2 quarters, guys. So this is just amazing. If we go down to the monthly returns, August 3.73% for Bitcoin, which mostly it only sees an upside of about 1.9% on average. So this is one of the worst months for it. And, you know, seeing that we're 3.73% up, that's not bad. Now, one of the most important charts of the day is the dominance, guys, and you can see it's at its lowest point that we have seen since back here in February, almost January, guys. So this is actually a really good sign, but keep in mind, these supports and resistances are weekly. I didn't mark off any daily ones. Now, this is a daily candle, and this is also a daily candle. If we put this on a weekly time frame, you can see that last week it did get support here. So this is a little bit of a danger that this could end up just a giant wick and it could end up support, but I just don't think that's going to happen. You know, we fell under this a few times now already, a few days at least. We've sealed, 3 candles here, daily candles under this mark in the past like 5 days. I just think it's over for the dominance, guys, in my opinion. I don't think this is going to be some mini altcoin season. I think we're going to see, between 40 and 48%, within the next couple of months. Now, looking at the USDT dominance, guys, you can see it is still headed down too. We have broken this local low, basically, and next support for this is 3.8%. Now, if we jump over to the dollar index, it is actually going down. So Bitcoin is getting a little bit stronger here because when the dollar goes down, Bitcoin tends to go up, and the opposite, guys. Now, Altseason Index, it went from 41 last night, I believe it was, to a 53, and I refreshed it right before the video. It's sitting at a 51 now. Kind of odd when the dominance goes down, but yeah, we are more, inclined or more trending towards the altcoin season more than a Bitcoin season at the moment. Liquidation heat map here is 536 million have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. That is quite elevated, but that's people getting wrecked on ETH, guys. Do not underestimate Ethereum. I do still think Ethereum will have a good run, at least this bull run. And I've always said that, but I'm not a big Ethereum fan. And anyways, people are just getting destroyed here. Now, the fear and greed is a 73 today. It did go up from a 68 in about 12.5 hours. We will get an update there. Bull market peak indicators, still 0 from 30 have been hit. It's still 100% hold, and the best indicator, in my opinion, is this Pi Cycle Top indicator, and it still has not crossed yet. Jumping over to the economic calendar, there's nothing really going on today, but tomorrow, guys, we do have PPI, so be aware of that. That'll be very important, and we have a 96% chance that we're going to get a cut in September. So September 17th, that is, 35 days away. But we have 2 PPIs and we still have 1 CPI before then. But this could drastically shift, guys. This could actually disappear here, and we may start seeing percentages for a half-point cut soon. Jumping over to the Mudix Dashboard, guys, you can see that the intraday is still positive today, so we do have sentiment that is still risk on, and that trend is growing. So this is very good. Crypto is considered risk on. So if we go to crypto bubbles, guys, look at this. OKB, I'm not sure what happened here, but a lot of exchange coins, guys, actually went up quite a bit. You can see GT, 12.8%. That is massive for GT. BGB, 0.2%. I don't see BNB. Okay, BNB is over here at 6.6% at the moment. So a lot of exchange coins, even KuCoin, 7.7. They went up today, and I'm not sure really why or what happened, but more than half of my portfolio is actually in exchange coin, guys. Now, if you want to stake your Skale, guys, you can go to Coinando. They have actually about 45% here in Binance. Be careful, though. They want you to hold your Skale. They want you to see this and, second guess yourself. Because they don't want to hold your Skale when it's pumped more than 50%. So anyways, guys, this is flexible staking. And yeah, if you like this video, guys, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with your friends. Check out some of those links that I have below in the description, guys. Like I said, it really helps me if you use my links. I do get a small commission, but it's very, very small. Unless you're a huge trader, then I might really get something. But anyways, guys, I will continue to make these videos, and I'm going to try to make at least 1 or 2 more tonight as everything is pumping across the board. And guys, I really appreciate it. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers. We're only a few shy now. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.